ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. On behalf of the government and people of Zimbabwe, and indeed on my own behalf, it is my singular honor and privilege to officially welcome you to this 7th annual SADC Industrialization Week, being hosted under the theme, and I quote, promoting innovation to unlock opportunities for sustainable economic growth and development towards an industrialized SADC, end of quote. This event, which is a precursor to the SADC Heads of State and Government Summit and the largest public-private engagement platform, aims at fostering new opportunities for intra-African trade and investment in the Southern Africa region. I congratulate the Southern African Development Community SADC Secretariat, the Confederation of Zimbabwe Industry CZI, and the SADC Business Council, along with responsible ministries, departments, and agencies of the Zimbabwean government for putting together an exceptional and transformational showcase. Given the vast natural resource endowments and the youthful population on our African continent, and the SADC region in particular, it is a misnomer that we continue to lose substantial revenue through exporting unprocessed goods and resources from our region. It is on this background that 10 years ago, we resolved here in Zimbabwe to front-load the SADC industrialization agenda. It therefore beckons all of us, governments, industry and development partners alike, to give impetus to the accelerated development of industry. Through our unity of purpose, complementary and intertwined strategies, we are determined to realize a rapid socio-economic development and a higher quality of life in our countries and the region that leave no one and no place behind. This is in line with targets of the African Union's Agenda 2063, which include transformation and enhancing overall productivity for the growth and industrialization of our African economies. Further, this year's Industrialization Week amplifies the urgent need for member states to embrace innovation as a way to boost industrial productivity and competitiveness. Individually and collectively, we have a duty to spur sustainable growth through a sound and diversified industrial base with wide-ranging new products and jobs for our people. Distinguished guests, modernization and industrialization of our economies is no longer a luxury, but a matter of necessity for the future we all want and we deserve. The rich liberation heritage of our region reminds us how unity and singleness of purpose realized political independence and freedom in our region. Presently, the contestations for neo-imperialistic subjugation of our countries are being fought in the economic domain. We must therefore never fall asleep. The present generation has a duty and obligation to foster environments and synergies that leapfrog industrialization, create more jobs, produce value-added goods, as well as increase exports and export earnings for our region. Equally, we must improve efficiencies in our resource allocation and create the requisite linkages across all sectors of our economies to drive this noble and urgent agenda for our region. For the SADC region to propel the industrialization initiative, we cannot work in silos, both in terms of in-country or cross-border cooperation. Hence, by and large, there is need for our national development strategies to be in sync with the broader development agenda in our region. As such, agriculture and agribusiness, along with our regional energy, water, transport, and port infrastructure, as well as trade routes, should be developed in a collaborative manner. Greater commitment must be demonstrated by all stakeholders to the full implementation of our policies, such as the Regional Indicative Strategic Development Plan. As it was during the liberation struggle, we are separate countries, but one region with one common future. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, our SADC region has immense potential to accelerate the structural transformation of our economies, anchored on increased production and productivity. It is critically important, therefore, to scale up the domestication of regional value chains towards our entry into global value chains. As an outcome of this event, we must see clear benchmarks and targets. Key in this regard is the need to expand production possibilities through enhanced cross-border utilization of natural and human capital resources of our region. To ensure the successful implementation of the SADC industrialization strategy, member states must increase investments in technology, innovation, as well as research and development. In this regard, we must repurpose our yesteryear institutions to be more relevant for the world of the future. Fundamentally, our education systems should be repurposed to bridge the technology gap and the current global trends to enable the SADC region to be more competitive in the workplace. Let us be deliberate, systematic, and surgically focused to graduate from being factor-driven to investment-driven, and ultimately knowledge-based economies. This can never be magical, but an incremental, step-by-step, brick upon brick, and a stone upon stone process. In the case of Zimbabwe, we have ushered in a new education philosophy through the adoption of the heritage-based education 5.0 policy. This focuses on science, technology, and innovation, and the production of goods and services as the bedrock of our national development agenda. This has seen innovation hubs and agro-industrial parks within all our institutions of higher learning, producing a new range of products for both the local and export markets. I challenge the private sector, small and medium enterprises, along with development partners, both in our country and the region at large, not to be mere spectators, but to have confidence in the capabilities of our young people by supporting the commercialization of innovative products, prototypes, and new ideas by these young people. We, the older generation, are setting the pace for you to excel for your country. Backward and forward linkages must see the creation of centers of excellency in science and technology, which enable sound research for modern industrial processes and accelerated industrialization. We should stop admiring things elsewhere. Admire only situation and improve it. Further, the private sector and other stakeholders must move beyond the policy and advocacy towards increased support for African-based entrepreneurship. We look forward to a time when the private sector engages government on assistance with regards promoting locally produced technologies, machinery, and equipment. There must always be dialogue between the private sector and the public, government and the private sector, not competition. Blended with our need to realize healthy rewards must be the due inclination to support and fund research and development for capacity building programs that equip our local people with the skills for emerging industries in the modern world. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, over and above revamping our education systems, it is imperative for member states to fully embrace the global ICT revolution. As Africa and the SADC region, ICT penetration must not merely be celebrated for enabling social interactions, but transcend into every sector of the economy. We must see greater efficiencies and cost savings in our modernization and industrialization processes through modern ICT, hard and soft infrastructure. Our younger generation has the capacity if we give them the freedom to dream. On its part, my government continues to provide an environment that encourages a conducive ICT and innovation ecosystem. ICT training has been mainstreamed into the whole continuum of our education system from primary up to tertiary level. Meanwhile, the development of advanced ICT infrastructure, as well as support for innovation and development of new ICT software by our young entrepreneurs is ongoing. We allow our young people, our boys and girls who are talented, to dream and dream for good or bad. I urge member states and the stakeholders across our region to scale up transformation of our domestic industries. Let us not shy away or delay embracing latest developments in emerging industries, underlining the fourth industrial revolution. These include artificial intelligence, robotics, biotechnology, and the use of renewable energy, among others. Greater innovation must be deployed to lower the unit costs of production, enhance information exchange, and lower transaction costs to further help our economies to develop new value chains while strengthening existing ones. The time has come for industry to become mature and seize the cry-baby mentality of the past. However, it is an acknowledged reality that the industrial sector in Africa faces challenges in accessing affordable and long-term finance. We all know that the philosophy of finance did not originate in Africa. Anyhow, this has in turn curtailed and retarded modernization of Africa's industrial base. For us in Zimbabwe, limitations in this regard have been worsened by the illegal economic sanctions imposed on our motherland, Zimbabwe, for the love of our land. We don't regret. Given the scale of finances needed to ensure the success of our regional industrialization agenda, we must think outside the box for innovative financing models. Focus must remain on what we have and what we control. This being the use of our domestic resources to propel our industrialization and development agenda. The weighty obligation to build, develop, and industrialize our economies lies with us, the people of this region, SADC, and our continent, Africa, and not beyond. The need to formalize and operationalize the SADC Regional Development Fund has become urgent. Similarly, domestic pension funds, sovereign wealth funds, and other public-private sector frameworks must be deployed to play a more pivotal role in the implementation of our industrialization agenda. In addition, the financial services sector is called upon to provide responsive financial packages that facilitate our collective quest for an industrialized SADC region. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, As the current crop of leaders within the SADC region and Africa in general, we are committed to the industrialization agenda and intra-African trade. We will, therefore, continue to create an enabling fiscal policy and regulatory environment with a particular focus on cross-border infrastructure and efficient trade. Under the Second Republic, the ease of doing business has tremendously improved. I'm not marking my own papers. And the bureaucratic red tape drastically reduced. This has seen us realize unprecedented economic growth and a foreign direct investment, while nurturing entrepreneurship, especially among youth and women-led SMEs and startups. Ladies and gentlemen, regional integration is a cornerstone of our SADC industrialization agenda and strategy. As such, member states are called upon to fast-track the ratification of our SADC protocol on industry. Through working together within SADC and other regional economic communities, we will undoubtedly realize win-win benefits under the African continental free trade area for the shared prosperity of the peoples of our great continent, Africa. In conclusion, as we continue with the 7th SADC Industrialization Week, we look forward to active dialogue and collaboration, as well as concrete trade deals. From a government point of view, after this week-long event, we stand ready to receive observations and recommendations from this forum on the bottlenecks and the possible remedies to accelerate our industrialization drive. Finally, I exhort us to remain vigilant towards growing investments that will spur our industrial development agenda to achieve the SADC we all want. With these remarks, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, it is my honor and privilege to declare this 7th annual SADC Industrialization Week officially opened. God bless you all. God bless you.